765, wonderful. Thank you, Chairman, members of the committee. Elizabeth Seaver on behalf of Express Scripts. Now that I know what I'm speaking about, we're here today in opposition to this piece of legislation. I've opposed this legislation for the last several years that it's been put in for the simple reason that it would increase healthcare spend in our state. So the problem with this as drafted is that if someone is an insured and they pay 1 month of premium, this gives them a year's worth of pills, essentially. So they could pay 1 month of premium, never pay any premium again, and they would be provided with the full benefit. The other thing is that under the current law, these things can be provided to people through the mail. So in 90-day supplies. So they would come to you every 3 months, your contraception supply. The other issue is that these pills actually their effectiveness can be harmed by either heat or cold. So if you can't ensure that they're stored correctly, we can't be sure that they're actually going to be effective for their stated purpose, which is a concern. Also, there needs to be, in a perfect world, there'd be continued interactions with healthcare providers because there are significant issues with drug indications or interactions. For example, oral antibiotics renders these ineffective. So we would suggest there's other ways to deal with this particular situation aside from just giving a year's worth of contraception pills, oral contraceptives to someone just with one script. But I would be happy to take any questions that you have.
So you have other ways that could address this bill. Can you share one or two?
So there are a couple ways that you could do this. So if someone knows that they need long-acting reproductive contraception, there's things called LARCs, which is long-acting reproductive contraception. So those would be implants, IUDs. Those are things like injection, the Depo-Provera shot, for example. So there are things that people can use if they know that they're going to be away from their home for a long period of time, but are still going to need contraceptions that are not oral contraceptives. And the other issue, or the other solution that I gave, is the one that's like a mail order situation. So if you know you're going to be on a medication for an extended period of time, instead of going to a pharmacy every month, if that's inconvenient for you, then you can set up to have those prescriptions delivered to your home. Yeah.
This mail order, there's different ways to get through mail order. Is that available to everyone?
I can't speak to everybody. I just represent Express Scripts. I expect that you'll be hearing from many other people in the industry, so you'll have to go by case, unfortunately. And it probably depends within the plan and what the plan sponsors provide for.
To be fair, I haven't heard of many people have to get their medicine mailed to them.
Yeah.
It's great that you guys are doing that, but I just don't know.
Yeah, we actually have a very sophisticated mail order pharmacy, and they take into account the temperature where it is, where they're putting it on the plane, and the temperature where it'll be when it lands. It's actually really interesting and sophisticated, to be totally honest. Yeah.
Do you know the percentage of women that are using birth control today compared to the other types of and the only reason I ask is because I do know many women that have tried to use the other types of birth control that are out there. And again, birth control is used for so many other things besides contraception. But whatever they're using it for, I know that they're not able to use those types of contraception. A lot of them prefer the pills. So while it's great that they both would accommodate more than 3 months, the pills right now don't ship for 3 months. So it wouldn't be acceptable. It's not a one-size-fits-all. I'm trying to say the different options out there.
Thank you.
And also, what prevents, when we talk about paying the premium for a month, right? What prevents someone doing that long term, preventative measure, and doing what you're saying is
Like an IUD, for example, like having an IUD placed, and then usually it takes more than a month to get that done. Sometimes if you're like scheduling an initial appointment and then going in to have it placed. But that's the same argument, I guess, could be made for surgery, for example. But the concern is that we don't want a bunch of these pills going out into the stream of commerce that either aren't going to be used because, to Representative Kazarian's point, that for a lot of women, it takes a bit of trial and error to find something that works for their body and works for whatever their issue they're trying to address, because it can be for more than one thing. And so those aren't just pills that we want to be wasted. You don't want them to be out in the environment, because actually there's nasty environmental impacts to that as well. Not what this bill is about. But so it's a concern.
Representative Paul.
I don't understand. I take a blood pressure pill, maintenance. They give it to me for the whole damn year if I needed it. Now, if somebody wanted a pill, and I know the cost, what is it, probably a penny to put the damn pill. It's been around since the 60s, if I'm not mistaken. So put it simple, it's cheap enough for you to produce it and to get it out to people who actually want to use it. So I don't quite understand Express Scripts saying, oh, well, it should be just this much. People need it. You know it's a maintenance drug. We have the drug to use.
To be clear, Representative, we actually don't make the drugs.
Well, you don't have to make it, but you're
Just want to be clear.
you know.
No. Like, we're a pharmacy benefit manager. We do not manufacture pharmaceuticals, nor do we set the price for the pharmaceuticals.
Then don't be against it. That's all.
No, so what our job is as a pharmacy benefit manager is to try to find ways for plan sponsors or people's employers to provide the pharmacy benefit or provide their employees with access to these drugs in a way that is beneficial to them and is cost effective. So that's our job.
We know it's good. We know it's worthwhile. People need it. So figure out a way and just say, no, we're only going to do it this way. There's other ways to do this.
And if that is the will of this committee, then so be it. But what I come before this committee talking about time and time again is every type of bill that we see like this eliminates a way for us to provide cost savings to our plan beneficiaries. These things cost money, and if that is something that this body sees fit to do, that's fine. But then the flip side of that is premiums do go up. The spend of prescription drugs is the highest rising part of healthcare.
I see it. I can go on record. Thank you.
Elizabeth, currently, as a state employee, I think we're allowed to get a prescription that we do for 30 days for maintenance that's good for 90 days, correct?
I do not know that.
Yeah.
I think that, so.
I'm the wrong person to be asking that question
If
to.
that were the case, is there objection to a 90-day supply? So the person only goes every 4 times a year?
We are not the ones that are the state employee plans providers. So I expect that someone will be coming up behind me that can answer that question for you.